Bakshi.
Mr. Speaker, my question is to the Minister for Economic Development and asks, what is the government doing to encourage businesses to invest and grow jobs?
The Honourable Stephen Joyce.
Mr. Speaker, the government is doing many things to help improve the environment for businesses to invest and grow. I recently released the Business Growth Agenda report, Building Skilled and Safe Workplaces. This report highlights the government's actions to materially lift labour productivity, drive sustained growth and deliver higher wages and living standards to New Zealanders. It brings together 62 specific actions in a comprehensive program to encourage skills development across all age groups and lift our productivity. Initiatives include a starting out wage to help young people into the workforce, a new skills and employment hub for better job matching in Christchurch, and an annual occupational outlook report for parents and students to give them industry guidance on careers in demand.
Speaker.
Kanwaljit Singh Bakshi.
Supplementary question. What reports has he seen of alternative programs?
The Honourable Stephen Joyce.
Well, Mr. Speaker, I've seen various alternative proposals regarding encouraging investors to grow businesses and add jobs in New Zealand. One, purported to be pro-growth tax reform, is capital gains tax that would slap a tax on every single New Zealand business and farm. Another, in relation to the proposed takeover of Fisher and Paykel, suggested government ministers should be able to veto the sales of shares in publicly listed companies. Both of these suggestions, if there was any chance of them happening, would no doubt greatly reduce the likelihood of investors wanting to invest in New Zealand and grow jobs. Far from a recipe for encouraging investment, these policies, promoted by Mr Shearer and his understudy Mr Cunliffe, would deter investment.
Point of order, the Honourable David Parker.
I seek leave to table reports from the OECD, the IMF, the Treasury and the Reserve Bank favouring pro-growth capital gains tax.
Now, order. Before I seek the leave of the House, would the member please identify the reports?
Yes, they're the periodic reports of the OECD into the New Zealand economy, the latest. The same from the OECD and the briefing to the incoming Minister from the Treasury. The Reserve Bank document I can't put a date to, sir, and so I won't pursue that.
Order. We seem to be a bit sort of excited about this. The last two documents, I think, are available to all members, briefings from the Treasury and the Reserve Bank. However, the first two documents were the latest periodic publications of both the IMF and the OECD. Leave us sort of table those two documents. Is there any objection? Oh, there is objection. Kanwaljit Singh Bakshi.
Supplementary question to the Minister. Has the Minister seen any other reports of alternative programs?
The Honourable Stephen Joyce.
In fact, I have. Another such alternative calls for cranking up the printing presses and printing money in a vainglorious attempt to stop the world economy so we can all get off. Of course, it would have the immediate effect of whacking up the cost of living for every single New Zealander and discourage investment in New Zealand. I've also seen a call for a blanket ban on deep-sea oil drilling, shutting down the fishing industry and closing the West Coast to further mining development, all of which would undermine local jobs and growth. These particular proposals come from the Greens and, depending on which day it is, the Labour Party as well.
Order. I think the Minister's had enough time. There's no responsibility for those parties' policies.
The Honourable David Cunliffe.
Mr Speaker, I seek leave for the Minister...
Point of order, I beg your pardon. Point of order.
I seek leave for the Minister to be able to table a copy of his most recent glossy brochure on the basis...
Order. Under what standing order is the member doing that? I'm unaware of any such standing order. If the member can point it out, I'm very happy to assist. It's just I'm not aware of it.
The
Honourable David Cunliffe.
Mr Speaker, the Minister referred in his previous supplementary answer to the release of his latest Business Growth Agenda paper on skills. Mr Speaker, I'd argue that the paper's not readily available.
Order. If the Minister was quoting... Order. I'm on my feet. If the Minister was quoting from a document, indeed the member can ask for them, under a point of order, ask for it to be tabled, but the Minister wasn't. There's no provision for what the member was trying to do.
Question number 4, Jacinda Ardern.
Speaker, my question